Hi children, I hope you are all well. And see, let us have the chapter 2 of life science for class 8. Let us see what is the chapter, the reproduction in plants. Now what is reproduction? You know, all organisms that live on the surface of the earth undergo reproduction. So what reproduction is? It is the process to keep the new generation. It is the process of duplication of the identical characters of the organisms for the new generation. Right now, in plants, we have the reproduction there, and there are two types of reproduction are there. These two types of reproduction are known as the asexual reproduction, and in asexual reproduction, only one parent is involved. One parent is involved. And in sexual reproduction, two parents are involved. Two parents. Here, the male and the female, both sex cells get together to form a zygote which develops into the new organism later on. Now, let us discuss about the first one, that is one parent reproduction, which is known as asexual reproduction. The asexual reproduction is of various types. In your locality, in your kitchen garden, even in your garden, even although sometimes, that's asexual reproduction. Let us see what are there. First thing is that asexual reproduction, we see the binary fission. Binary means dividing into two. A mother cell divides into two. This is binary fission. Usually it is found in the bacteria. Now my dear children, you know the bacteria are microscopic organisms. But what kind of microscopic organisms are they that you don't know? They are microscopic plants. My goodness, so small but they are plants. How do you know that they are plants? You might say, sir, you are not telling the correct thing. I have the proof, my dear children. They are called the plants because their cell wall is there and it is rigid. So this is a common feature of the plants. So that is why they are treated as the unicellular plants. And thus their reproduction is being taken in the plants. So the binary fission is divided into two, that is found in bacteria, but there is some exception is also there. In algae chlorella, they have also binary fission. On the other hand, like binary fission means that dividing into two, some creation, they do multiple fission. What fission? Multiple. That means they are not dividing their cells into two daughter cells. They are making it into numerous daughter cells. That is why they are multiple fission. Now, this multiple fission is also in a very small animal that is known as the chlamydomonas. What are they in the plant, which is known as the chlamydomonas? The chlamydomonas undergo the multiple fission. Now, what is multiple fission? Now, this kind of creature, whenever there is unfavorable condition, they can create a surrounding and around them. This is known as cyst, C-Y-S-T. And inside the cyst, they stay quietly. Children, if there is Air Force attack, bomb and all those, the people, they go into the bunker and stay there for some time. So when the attack is over, they come out. Here it is like that. In unfavorable condition, the chlamydomonas undergoes in the cyst formation. They form into the cyst and stay there. How long? Until the favorable conditions come. When the favorable conditions come, they never come out as the single one. There was one who had made the cyst, but inside that, it has already been divided into numerous. That is called a multiple fission. And in favorable condition, the cyst breaks and they come out. So that is how the multiple fission they do. and definitely in the favorable condition. Okay, and sixth formation is unfavorable condition. Second one is a reproduction which is known as budding. Now you know a very common name, yeast. Yeast is a fungi and it helps in various ways. You eat the cakes, breads, and you eat, and sometimes idli and all those also there. Then you see yeast is put in that, because and yeast also undergoes the fermentation to produce the alcohol. So the yeast reproduces by budding. The small buds come out which actually grows into the new plant. So yeast is having the binary fission, the budding, and they are the fungi. Next is the fragmentation. Now some plants like spiderware and all those, they undergo the fragmentation. What is fragmentation? Suppose there is some injury, the spiderware mother has been fragmented. So all the fragments will grow into a new individual. So that is called fragmentation. Next is your spore formation. Now especially in fungi, have you seen, if you have kept a piece of bread somewhere in the corner of the table or somewhere, when you take them out, you see there is velvety covering over the bread. And we say the bread has been stale, that means it's spoiled. But you see the velvety coating has come out. If you take the velvety coating, you can see those are nothing but the kind of fungi which is known as bread mold. What is known as bread mold? Now this is the structure of the bread mold. They have the body, and our fungi body is known as the mycelium, and then they have a swollen tip head which is known as sporangium. And in the sporangium, there are the spores are there, and these spores help them to grow into the new organism. These spores, they grow to new organism. When at maturity, the sporangium bursts and the spores scatter, and they come out as the new organisms. They come out as the new organisms. So, spore formation kept in sporangium, and then that is broken. That is broken into the spores, and scattering the spores, they grow into the new brain. Well, children, we have the vegetative reproduction. You see, the vegetative reproduction, the part of the asexual reproduction, where the plant from its various parts, that means body parts of the plant, the roots, the stems and the leaves, from there they reproduce. Like see, the roots, leaves and the stems. When you see, first thing is that we have, you all at your home eat potato. Is it or not? Yes, it is. You do. And the potato have the eyes. Have you seen the eyes? Potato. Yes, you have. You see, these are the eyes of the potato. These eyes are nothing but they are the buds. Through these buds, they grow into the new plant. But what the potato is, it is a form of underground stem known as tuber. What it is known as? Tuber. It is known as the tuber. And tuber is a fleshy underground swelling stem, and it is having buds in the form of eyes. From there, it reproduces to new plant. Coming to the second underground stem, which is branched, is known as rhizome. They were tuber, and this is rhizome. That you have also been seen, which is called ginger. In Hindi and Bengali it is called adrak. Okay, and that is this. And here you see the scale leaves are there, and this from the scale leaf they grow into the new plants. So this is also from the underground stem. Well, when you come to the next one, it is also an underground stem, and it is known as corm. What is known as corm? C-O-R-M. Corm. and it is also known as colocasia. What is known as colocasia? Okay, and then this is the comb, the part is stem and then scale leaves, and then you have axillary bonds there, and adventitious roots are also there. So this is comb, which we eat as vegetables. In Bengali it is called ol, and that is what comb is. When we come to another type of vegetable, this is onion. You get onion and bloody all in this group, and they are known as the bulb. They are known as the bulb. B-U-L-B. They are known as the bulb. So what is happening here? You see, this is the part stem, and whatever was, it is almost in underground. And here you see the roots have come up from there, adventitious roots, because there is no primary root here. And you see there is a terminal bud over here, which allows the plant to grow. And surrounding that, there are the scale leaves are there. The scale leaves are very fleshy, and as well as they are used for the cooking of various vegetables. So this is the underground stem, and which comes under vegetative reproduction. Well, children, so we have discussed regarding the vegetative reproduction. As the last part of the vegetative reproduction is there, and then we do it by the aerial stem. In aerial stem, mint and dough. Dough means, you know, the grass with which you offer for the puja or all the festivals. They are runners, they are like this. Their stem is not actually on the, their big stem, and they are not actually on the soil. So they grow from the roots and nodal region. Like the mint is also there. By roots, sweet potato and asparagus are the two examples which they grow by the roots, and there are adventitious buds in there which grow into the new plants. When we come the reproduction, vegetative reproduction by which the plants do by the leaves, the bryophyllum and kalancha. There are two kinds of plants which also reproduce with the leaves. Here is the example of the bryophyllum leaf. You can see bryophyllum leaf where you see the margin, which is known as the leaf blade. From there the plant is arising to the veins. So this is the reproduction by the leaves. Well, we have all gone through by the vegetative reproduction and artificial vegetative reproduction, propagation. Now we have the artificial vegetative propagation, the man-made, which man makes. Now you see, cutting. We people cut the stems of the rose and sugarcane and put them in a place where there is the water and all those supplies there, so they can grow into the new plants. That is known as stem cutting. Well, second one is grafting. Now, to get the desired variety, this grafting is also another name, is known as the hybridization. What is done? Then what, suppose say, I have two mango trees. One is producing huge size mangoes but very sour in taste. Another one is not so big in size but very tasty. So we will do the grafting. The branch of one plant will be cut and put into the branches of the other one. And then they will be fastened with some soil mixed with some hormones and all those, and will be kept watering. The roots will come out, will cut and plant them. So this is how we get the desired variety. So this is known as grafting. Like that, the layering is also there. The bud is scooped off and is put into another plant. So that is how the layering is done. And in the layering also, the layering comes into the new plant. Well, we have the tissue culture. You see, nowadays the science is very, very advanced. And there what we have, in the test tube or in the culture plate, we make the tissue culture which forms the callus. And this callus, along with the addition of the hormone, you know, hormone is the promoter and it is the controller, it is the organizer, and also it is the what is called forming the coordination. So that forms the differentiation of the petals to form into the new plants by leaves and all those. That is how it is done. Now, what is the advantage and disadvantage of this vegetative propagation? Now, in vegetative propagation, the advantage is they are very fast growing plants. Very fast growing, not like that harvested in a particular time, showing that this, they are very fast harvesting. They are identical to seed, and seedless banana and grapes are made with this, and seedless means it is very easy to be taken. So that is done, and then the fast growth of the flower and fruits are also there. The growing the plant, fruits and flowers very fast. On the other hand, there is disadvantage also is there. The disadvantage is that as they are identical, that means same, if infection spreads, the infection will spread very quickly to all. And number two disadvantage is that by that the entire crop can be destroyed, absolutely destroyed. Right now, after this, we are going to discuss you about the flowering plants and their reproduction. Well, children, now we have the sexual reproduction. You know, there are plants who bear the flowers, who are known as the phanerogams. The flowers are of two kinds, unisexual flower and bisexual flower. You have gone to the market and have seen the pumpkin flower, which is sold for eating birds. So pumpkin and cucumber flower, they are unisexual flower because they have only one sex organs in them, either male organ or female organ. Now, what is the single sex organ flowers known as? They are unisexual. Out of unisexual, some of them have only male parts, so they are known as staminate. And the other one, those who have only female part, they are known as the pistillate flower. So staminate and pistillate. Right now, so that is the unisexual flower, and by means of which you get the cucumber, the pumpkin, the gourd, all those are unisexual flowers. And then second one is bisexual or hermaphrodite flower. In hermaphrodite or bisexual flower, they are having both sex organs. The male sex organs as well as the female sex organs also there. Like example is hibiscus, means aruka full, and rose and the sunflower. These are the bisexual or hermaphrodite flowers. Here is the parts of a bisexual or hermaphrodite flower given. You see this is the flower. So here you see the flower is attached to the plant with pedicel or petiole that holds the flower. Then we have the green colored bracts which used to protect the flower in the bud stage. They are known as the sepals. Of the sepals we have the very bright colored, soft velvety structure is there which are known as the petals. These petals they attract, because of their color, they attract the insects of the pollination. And we have, if you have taken inside, you see that there is an ovary inside, and in the ovary there are the ovules are there. The ovary becomes a fruit when it is ripened, and then inside the ovary the ovules are there, which is matured to be a seed. Next is that if you go over here, you see the stigma which receives the pollen grain, and through the pollen tube they send it to the ovary. Now stigma is very sticky along with the style which holds the stigma. So stigma, style, ovary and ovule, these all becomes the part of one system, the female reproductive system or gynoecium. They are known as the gynoecium or pistil. They are known as the gynoecium or pistil. On the other hand, they are the projections that have come out. They are known as the filaments, and on top of the filament there is anther. Anther is having anther sac, and in the anther sac at maturity you see the anther sac breaks, and they are of the reddish brown color, yellowish red, yellow reddish brown color of the pollen grains are there, which are nothing but the male reproductive cell. And this is known as the male part or androecium or the stem. So this is a part of the complete flower. Now, as the flower is mature, so the pollen grains is to be taken to the other part or in the same plant in other flower. There are two processes of transfer of the pollen grains are there. What is the transfer of pollen grains called? It's called, it is known as the pollination. What is known as the pollination? Now in pollination, there are two types of pollination out there. One is self-pollination, that means the pollen is carried to the same plant in the flower of the same plant. And where there is the another type of pollination, which is the cross-pollination. That is the transfer of the pollen grains from one plant to the other plant, and there, if there is a flower there. Well, the agents of pollination, the insects, wind, water, and animals. Now, insects, they visit due to the very brightly colored petals. They are attracted. They go for another reason, because they are above the thalamus, that means at the base of the petals, there is a gland which is known as nectaries. In the nectaries, there are sweet juice is there. This juice is known as nectar. They collect it to feed themselves, or sometimes the bees collect it for their future generation. Anyway, when they go, their hairy body sticks with the pollen, and then when they fly to the another flower, another plant, that has been transferred to the stigma of the another flower, and then this is known as the cross-pollination. This is known as the cross-pollination. So this is the agent of insect agent can do, and by maize, paddy and wheat, they are having the flowers and their pollen grains are very fine. They can easily flow in the air. So their pollination is done by the wind. The wind blows their pollen grains to the other plant. So that is called wind pollinated plants. And then we have the water. Some plants like that of the water lily, Halcyonea, lotus, and all these, they are carrying their, sometimes male flowers go, sometimes the pollen grains come out. Male flower of lotus, it's a magical thing to do. The female flower is stuck with the substratum, that means below the soil, and it is coiled. At the maturity, they uncoil themselves and come and face the current, where the female flowers are detached and they fly and float and come in contact with the female flower. So male and female flower attaches, the pollen is transferred, and the male flower floats away. And the female flower instantly closes the petal and again coils down below the water. This is in lotus, but in other plants like Halcyonea and all, they are not detaching the flower. They are only leaving the pollen grains into the water, which goes and sticks with the female flower. So this is how their pollination is done. That is the pollination by water. Now in animals, some animals like even very small birds like hummingbirds and all those, they go and visit the flowers for their food or for something else, and they carry with their body the pollen grains, and they transfer it to the other plants. So this is how the animals also do. Now artificial pollination. Human beings have observed all the scientific phenomena that is happening in the nature, and for their desired benefit, they have done and used this. And this is the thing that they are using as a hybridization. The new variety, better variety is produced. Then what did they do? They select the character of the particular plant. Suppose that 2 mango plants are there. They will select the character. It is number of more fruit giving, and this is the very good taste ones. So they will hybridize those two to get high yielding best quality produced, and that is known as the artificial pollination or the hybridization. The product is hybrid and high yielding variety. Now next is the fertilization. Fertilization is the union of the male and the female gamete to produce the new zygote, and from new zygote the new things are produced. Like that, there are two kinds: the simple common fertilization, and there is another one which is known as the double fertilization. In double fertilization, they exchange it. the pollen grain enters into the pollen tube is formed, and then pollen tube is formed, and then the pollen grains go like this. Well, the children, as the pollen has been done, I told you, there are two kinds of fertilization. There is simple compound, and the other one is the double fertilization. Here is the process. You see how the pollen grains enters the pollen tube, and then slowly and gradually comes over into the egg cells, and then will fuse with the female gamete. Fertilization occurs, the flowers dry up, and the formation of the fruit occurs. This is all about your reproduction in plants. Now let us discuss some questions. Well, in your exercise, you have some questions there. As fill in the blanks. There is question number 1, the answer will be fungi. Question number 2, the answer will be cysts. Question number 3, the answer will be pistillate. Question number 4, there will be hybrid. Question number 5 will be the yeast. Well, coming to question number E, a very short answer type question. Question number 1, the method is known as cutting. Question number 2, the answer is budding. Question number 3, the different parts of flower which is already shown to you. That means there are 4 rows: the calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. And then we have what type of asexual reproduction taking place in Chlamydomonas. That is the multiple fission. And you know the multiple fission occurs due to the unfavorable condition when the Chlamydomonas goes to the cyst, and inside the cyst they never stay quiet. They divide into many cells, and as favorable conditions come, the cyst breaks out to come multiple number of Chlamydomonas. And last number, what do you call the flower having both sexual parts? They are known as the hermaphrodite or the bisexual flowers. Then we have the differentiate between sexual and asexual reproduction. The first one is that sexual reproduction. We have 2 parents, male and female. Then male and female gametes fuse to form the zygote. From there the embryo is formed. And in asexual reproduction, only 1 parent, and that is done by various methods: budding, binary fission, fragmentation, etc. And then number 2, binary fission and multiple fission. In binary fission, a mother cell divides into 2 daughter cells, and in multiple fission, a mother cell, due to the unfavorable condition, goes into the cyst form, and as soon as the favorable condition comes out, they break up into many divisions, and that is why known as the multiple division. Number 3, the self-pollination and cross-pollination. Self-pollination, the pollination means the transfer of the pollen grains from the same plant to same flower, that's self, and cross-pollination from the one plant to the other plant, that is called cross-pollination. On the other hand, cutting and grafting. Cutting is a simple method of cutting the stem and then putting them into a place where the water and all the supply is there to take out the roots to make a new plant. While grafting is the joining of the 2 plants, seeing their characteristics, and they are provided with watering and all to get out the roots which is cut and planted to get the new plants. Next is the long answer question: what is reproduction? Keeping generation in all organisms is called the reproduction, and its types: asexual reproduction, 1 parent reproduction, and the sexual reproduction, the reproduction that means by the 2 parents, the male and the female involved. What is the advantages and disadvantages of the vegetative propagation? Number 1, the advantages of the vegetative propagation is that the production is very fast. Number 2, they are identical. Number 3, seedless fruits and all those are obtained very well. While in the disadvantage is that when the infection occurs very quickly to them, and number 2, it can destroy the the total harvest, whatever it is there. Explanation, question number 3. The parts of a flower with the help of your example that has been already done on the blackboard. There are 4 parts: the calyx, corolla, anoecium and gynoecium. The flower is attached to the plants with the petiole or pedicel. Then there are the small bracts, green color bracts is another sepal which protects the flower in the bud stage. Then there are bright colored velvety soft structures known as the petals. For their color and all those, they attract the insects which cause them and help them in the pollination. And then the next part is the androecium, where the filament having the anther is having anther sac, and in the anther sac there is pollen grains which are the male unit, that means the male sex cells. And then the other part is stigma style ovary, that makes the gynoecium or female part, or they are called also pistil. And inside the ovary there are the ovules, and these ovules form to seeds, and the ovary in the repeat stage forms to fruit. The agents of pollination. The agents of pollination, what I have already discussed. Number 1 is insect. Insect plays a great role in carrying the pollen grains from one plant to the other. Second one is wind. In plants like wheat, maize, barley, and all those, the flowers are having pollen grains very light, which can easily be carried by the winds to the other plants to pollinate. And then the next agent is the water, and in water the lotus, halcyonidium, all these plants and water lily, they are there. In lotus especially, the female flower detaches along with the pollen grains to stick with the female flower, and then fertilization occurs and female flower rounds up and goes beneath the water, male flower flows up. In halcyonidia, pollen grains only flow through the water and they are stuck to the female ones. So this is how it is happening. Short note about the fruit formation. When the flower dries up after the fertilization, the fruit is formed. The fruit is formed after the fertilization, and as the flower fertilizes, the petals dry up, the flowers completely dry up, forms the zygote, and slowly and gradually embryo, and finally the ovules become the seeds, while the ovary becomes the fruit. This is all about your question answer discussion. But dear children, all the question answers, right from the MCQ to all the questions of the chapter, you will get it in the website www.bsnes.in. I think you have understood the chapter nicely, and this is all about the reproduction and its question answers. Thank you and have a good day.